What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Pens and Tea. My name is Carrie, and today, thank you for responding in my quick look video on the Benu Dream Bean. I asked you guys if you wanted to see a comparison between their fine and medium nib on the number 6 size nibs, and you said, yes, please. And I said, okay, and here we are. So I have a fine nib on the Benu Talisman Dream Bean and a medium nib on the Benu Talisman Edelweiss. They are both inked up with different colors, but from my experience, it doesn't really matter all that much with the ink choice you put in there. Could the ink spread a little bit depending on which one you have? Yes, but these are both very well behaving inks on Tomoe River paper, so it just doesn't matter. In the Dream Bean, I have Noodler's Golden Brown, and in the Talisman, in the Edelweiss, I have Pilot Iroshizuku Shinkai. So fine nib with Golden Brown, medium nib with Shinkai. So before we get into more writing, I just simply wrote down the name, the nib size, and obviously that they're both number 6 size nibs. Can you replace them with other brands? Yeah, you can, but I think their Schmidt nibs are dope, quite frankly. All 3 pens that I have zero problems with. They write amazing, very smooth, very wet. But you can see there is a stark difference between the fine and medium. And in real life, in realsies, it's even more noticeable than on camera. Like, it's really hard on camera to show just how different. Like, it is a full step up. There's a fluffer. What I will do is I also have my Custom 74. Sorry, I hit the camera. So we got Pilot, medium. This happens to be their number 5 size nib, but it doesn't really matter. Pilot's got their own nib size. The ink in this one is Montegrappa Harry Potter Ravenclaw Blue, by the way. So if we bring out the Pilot medium, you'll see that it kind of sits in between the fine and the medium from the Benu. Now, Pilot is a Japanese brand, so it's a little bit finer in the fine and medium sizes. Once you get to broad, it's pretty much all the same game, but just for comparison's sake. All right, let's zoom in a little bit, and let's bust it. Not the best handwriting, but writing through a camera, guys, if you've never tried it, whew, she difficult. Around a tripod through the camera. Yeah, it's really difficult. Oop, focus there, camera. Focus. So you can see that on the medium, this O is almost completely closed in, whereas this one is wide open, and this E is completely closed, and yet this one has a little bit of a gap. So this is the main difference you'll see in your handwriting, unless you write very large, in which case, go for a broad. That's the main difference you'll notice in your handwriting when you go from a fine to a medium. Fine and mediums are basically my bread and butter. Pilot mediums are literally my bread and butter. That's where I like to sit for the vast majority of the time. But these are really where my writing caps out, because if I go for a broad, then I purposefully have to write really large, and I don't typically do that. So for me, not super worth it all of the time. But I will say, as far as the feel goes between the two pens, The fine is smooth with a 3.5 out of 10 on the feedback scale. If you're, that's the wrong one. If to compare it to something real, if you think of like a number 2 size pencil, similar but less feedback, a lot less feedback than an actual pencil, but that's similar. The medium is super smooth with a 1.5 out of 10 on the feedback scale. Now, these numbers obviously are like arbitrary because it makes sense in my brain, but what makes sense to you, I don't know. The best I can really say is that, yeah, this feels less feedbacky than a pencil, but along those vibes, this barely any feedback. I imagine a broad would be even smoother, even less feedback. And of course, paper does play a huge role in that. This is, again, 52 GSM Tomoe River paper. Tomoe River and Cosmo Air Light are pretty much where my paper preferences land. Those are pretty much the ones that I use all the time. So that's sort of what I'm thinking there with the difference between the fine and the medium nibs. Both of them, I highly, if I cannot stress this enough, highly recommend. Like, you guys, I can't tell you how crazy I have fallen for Benu pens. Like, I avoided Benu for years. I really did, because I thought they looked ridiculous. I didn't get why the price point was the way that it was. I thought for a plastic pen with a steel Schmidt nib, like, these shouldn't be so good, but they are. They are so good. Like I said, you can find ones that are less flashy than these, but that really is their bread and butter. So, do I recommend them? Yes, I absolutely do. Holy smolies. If you prefer Japanese style pens, then definitely get the fine, because the medium will be too big for you. If you typically write with, mediums or broads, European mediums or broads, definitely go with a medium or a broad on the Benu, because the medium is a beefy medium. But both pens are very wet. Both pens are very smooth. Both pens are super reliable, no hard starts, no skipping, no issues whatsoever. So both 10 out of 10 in my book. They just serve slightly different purposes. So let me know in the comment section down below. Are you a fine or are you a medium? Have you used both? Heck, are you a broad? Are you a double broad? Are you an extra fine? Who knows? I am definitely more of a fine person who likes to dabble with mediums from time to time, and I usually only get a broad to play with. I can't really write with a broad, but that's just because my writing, I suppose, is smaller than most. Anyways, if you like this video, do hit that like button. If you liked it a lot and haven't done so already, do hit subscribe. New videos come out every Monday and Friday, and the occasional rando on Tuesday. Check out the link in the description below for my Patreon account if you want to help support me and what I do here. And as always, if you're still watching this far in, oh, guys, you're the reason I make these videos. I appreciate you. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye. Well, all right. Today it is time to say thank you to all of my Patreons. I am so grateful for you. Today is July 3rd. So if you do not see or hear your name, just be patient. I update it as soon as I can. So for our ultimate human, we've got Daniel Roddy. And then for my VIPs, we have Glenn Kelly, Joan Worthman, Brian Hunter, Aaron C., Luna Wolf Games, Bobby A. Bailey, Bass, Waylay Chang, Brian Law, Lucas Bell, Aubrey Madcourt, Marissa Calvo, Eric Lineman, Jessica Chow, Stephen Baldwin, Carol Lowry, Michael Simon, Sean Sturdy, Catherine Molina, Robert Myers, Bill Pemberton, Karen Epstein, Gretchen Peters, Subi1 Kenobi, Bianca Andrews, and DigitalTent.tech. And lastly, but not least, McCall Bennett Lawrence. So thank you to everyone, no matter the tier you're in, whether it's bottom or top, does not matter. You all make what I do here possible. Thank you, thank you, thank you.